Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trijul Creates and welcome back to the Tire Smoke podcast. In this episode we shall talk about a race held in Italy known as the Mille Migilia. Picture this, 1,000-mile road race through the beautiful scenic but public roads of Italy in old sports cars going almost 200 kilometers an hour plus. And while you're going at that speed, you can see all the vineyards, the fans, and especially the fans because they're like 10 centimeters away from your car. Hell, if you want, you can even stop for a gas refill at one of the public gas filling stations nearby. You might even want to stop for a pizza. Yeah, I know, a pizza in the middle of a race. But, well, if that doesn't make you nauseous, that is. Sounds too good to be true? Well, it was true. What race am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the legendary Italian road race and what is largely considered as one of the most beautiful races of all time, the Mille Migilia. From a period of 1927 to 1957, this grueling road race was held in its full form. 1,000 kilometers of Italian roads, a sports car, and you never know when it's gonna rain. This race was one of the most earliest forms of endurance racing, which also includes the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which started earlier, like 4 years earlier. This started in 1927, Le Mans started in 1923. This was also the era of the gentleman racer. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that these racers, they weren't professionals, they weren't full-time racers. Most of them were just wealthy individuals who had a car and a love of racing. The Mille Migilia was also a place where legendary brands such as Alfa Romeo, Ferrari and Mercedes raced. It was a place where drivers such as Juan Manuel Fangio, Tazio Nuvolari and Alberto Ascari proved their mettle and proved that they belonged in the category of legendary racing drivers. All this is okay, but how did the race go exactly? So you would start at the beautiful Italian town of Brescia, from where you would go to places like Ferrara and Ravenna, known for their scenic beauty. And then you would go to Pescara, which is also known as one of the longest F1 tracks in the world. From where you would go to Rome, you would go to Pisa, and then you would go to Modena, the home of Ferrari itself. From where you will have to go at a sprint back to Brescia. It had checkpoints every now and then where you would check your timing, and the drivers also could check their timings and how far they are ahead of the next car. Whoever made it back to Brescia in the least time was the winner. All along the way you would have your fair share of extremely hairy moments where you think you're gonna go off track, and your occasional fights with your co-driver, and if you have a puncture, well, you're on your own. You'll have a spare tire in your boot, just get it out, pick it up and remove that tire and replace it. If you're feeling hungry, well, nothing you can do about it. And you'd be running night, you'd be running day, you'd be running in the rain. You would basically be running in any condition possible, all the while with the dust and the smoke and the heat of the engine getting inside your lungs. So yes, the race was extremely harsh and extremely demanding on both the car and the drivers. However, this is also a place where you can prove your mettle. So let's say that you're a budding amateur driver. If you had raced over here, your company would know that you are one of the best drivers in the world because you braved those harsh conditions and brought the car home despite having raced like days on end. If you won, almost the whole of Italy would be your fans, and you would also have the achievement of having put the Mille Migilia under you. The first race was won by Fernando Minoia and Giuseppe Morandi in 1927 in the OM 665S. It was held until 1957, and the cars as such did not have any rules. All they needed to have was right and left fenders, as in there had to be some amount of covering over the wheels, but that was it. Otherwise you could build whatever you wanted. The race was stopped in 1957 after a few distressing crashes and fatalities, one crash even involving a Ferrari. And so this race came to an end. a race that Enzo Ferrari called as one of the most beautiful races in the world, and also incidentally where his brand got one of his first racing wins. There is a Mille Migilia today also, but it's not the pure speed event it used to be. It's more of a homage to old cars. So what you have to do is, you have to own a car from 1927 to 1957, and then you will have to pay an exorbitant fee to participate, and then you would not race, let's just say drive at a high speed through all these places like Rome, Brescia and whatever, and the checkpoints are still there. However, the race is at a more relaxed pace. It's more of just a show off of what cars used to be. It's not a pure speed event. However, the legacy of the true Mille Migilia lives on forever in the hearts of enthusiasts around the world, and also especially in Italy. And so this is the story of what is personally one of my favorite races of all time, the Mille Migilia. Hope you liked the video. If you liked it, please like, share and subscribe to this channel, Trijal Creates. Thank you once again. This is me, Trijal, signing off.